So, next up, we've got our Increasing Your Impact workshop, and welcome Yamili Prasad, the speaker of this section. Yamili is an edtech entrepreneur and freshman at Cornell, and she is an CEO and founder of the nonprofit organization Siri. So please welcome her in chat and let's listen to her speech.
Thank you so much. I hope you all can hear me right now. I'm so sorry. There was a glitch, technical glitch. I couldn't join in earlier. So here I am. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're all enjoying. I know I am. I've been joining, I've been hearing Saida and Amina for the past couple of few minutes that I've joined in, and they seem to be really, really working hard to make this event a huge success. Uh, Partnerships for impact is how I've been, here I am for that. Well, before I get into it, I want to share a little bit about myself, and then you could see how it's really helped me grow and it's really helped my organization grow, Siri, so far, how we are. Uh, for me, as a childhood, beauty has always been the most impactful message and the most impactful thing in my whole life. Well, why is that? When I was 6 years old, about 7 years old, I would always dream and fascinate about how cool Barbie is. You know, the blonde hair, the tall legs, and the fair skin. But what I really didn't know, and what I was so lost in the whole looks of it all, was even though I bought these amazing clothes and I would wear them, I could never be blonde. I could never be fair skinned. I was, dusky. And for Indian tone to be dusky is a whole another situation that comes into play with, scrubbing your feet, scrubbing your face off just to look really fair and just to look pretty beautiful. So all through I was until some point in my school when a lot of these young girls they went on to about say that no matter how what clothes you wear, you're never going to be that girl. And I was like, well, I was shattered, I was heartbroken. And that's when my mother told me, and she told me that overcoming your obstacles does not depend on how you look. So rather you focus on things that that are there in your hand, and things are going to work out. So I shifted my focus onto education, shifted on to studying. I worked really hard. I went to the best college in the country. I scored a tremendous score. I got out. I started working with some stellar stalwarts of the Indian business system over here. But then I saw an ad in the newspaper which says, Miss Hyderabad, which is a regional contest, a beauty pageant that takes you onto the national level, and then you go onto the Miss World platform. So, which said that we are looking for young and talented and ambitious women to be a part of this pageant. And I was like, young and ambitious, I could be that. I'm definitely that. So I was there. I had 6 rounds of auditions, 6 rounds of talks, and I did my best. I gave in my best talk I could possibly do. I gave in my best walk that I could possibly do. And there I was finding myself walking through all of these rounds. And at one point, I was like, I got through all of these 6 rounds. And now I'm this part of this whole journey, which takes me through a whole 21 days journey where you get trained for the pageantry for the finale day. And I reached the finale day, and there I am. I understand that even though I felt a little bit of an underdog, but there I was putting in my best efforts. On the finale day, just right before I went onto the stage to give in my talk, to give in my walk, right before we entered the stage with these beautiful gowns that we're dressed in and the beautiful hair and makeup that I was put into, just 10 minutes before that, a designer, he comes in and he tells me, hey, best of luck. He comes in to congratulate every other young girl who was there. And he congratulated me too. And he pulls me aside once he does that. He pulls me aside and he says, you've done really well for yourself for coming out this far. So good luck with that. And he said, you're not going to make it, but I'm sure this was a huge journey for you. I mean, to say something like that and like going 10 minutes before on stage, I was heartbroken. I definitely knew I was the underdog throughout the whole pageantry, throughout the whole sessions. But it was then that it really hit me that I was probably just a prop in here. But I still went on. I still went on with the head held high. And while I was at stage, while I was asked a question in front of about 5 million audiences who were screening out live on news, on like YouTube channels, on like OTT platforms and on televisions, I was asked, what makes you different from the other girls today? And I took a minute. I took a minute to answer that, because I was like, do I become a quintessential beauty pageant winner who answers in a very diplomatic way, or should I speak my heart out today? Should I say the truth? And I took a minute to answer that, and I knew that, well, if I'm going down, I might as well go down being brave about it. So I said, what makes me different today is my skin color. I'm standing here on the sacrifices of far more younger women, or far more women who've been before me over here and who haven't gotten through this platform. And today I am here to voice out that, you know, your skin color, and you don't overcome your obstacles through your skin color, and does not depend on it. And I want every woman, every young woman out there to understand that uh, no matter how you look, no matter what your skin color is, you shouldn't be taught or you shouldn't be judged upon these parameters. So this was my talk. This was my 2-minute speech, and I get off. And remarkably, I win. I win the pageant. I move on to the next platform. Though I understand that, you know, going on a higher platform needs it a lot more obstacles to come across, and we have to. But I did not participate in any other pageants after that, after winning this. But what I really grabbed out of this was, it was a whole system of where you educate people, you educate as many young women, as many young people as you can. And that platform gave me the opportunity to do so. And how did it do so? Because we were all connected through a digital network. If it was just onto for a newspaper, I wouldn't have reached the impact that, you know, I possibly wanted to have. So that's when it hit me that digital going tech means going bigger, means reaching out to that every little person, every little young girl who's out there thinking, I can't be the Barbie that I want to be, you know, just because I'm being told I'm not supposed to be one. So there I was. And when the pandemic hit, the importance of education, the access to education had far more deteriorated, while at the same time increased the importance and significance for wanting to connect to people. uh, that's when I realized, even though you and I had the opportunity to log in to these digital literacy programs through Zoom and through Google Meet and through other platforms and through Microsoft Meets, we could log in to do continue education uninterrupted, unhindered, unencumbered. But there are also a huge section of the society, people in India, people in Asia, people in Africa, people in South America, people in the US, people in all throughout the world who couldn't access their education, who were cut off from what they were, from only the life that they knew how to live. And that's when I took a step ahead from moving on from a platform of just education, widening the lens into bringing on a completely different focus onto my projects, to about doing digital literacy mentorship program, which is the DLMP program, which as City as a foundation we've been focusing on. And how I actually came about to City and how I grew upon it was exactly through a platform where I could make this impact through Miss Hyderabad. This is where I partnered with my fellow participants who were with me, who were as part of STEMs, who were engineers, who were doctors, who were physicists, who were chemists. I could partner with them, bring them on board, and who could volunteer for me and actually reach out to people who are in need. The most common question I usually get asked is about, how do you reach out to people? How do you find your way in? It's really difficult. I understand that, and I also know that I face this difficulty. But what I want you to do is go out there, find out people, find out on LinkedIn, find out on Instagram, find out on Facebook, find out on every possible platform that you could get them onto. Drop them a message and tell them you would like to talk to them, have a chat with them, and get a little mentorship on the idea. Because just a little advice, like even if you ask them for an advice, even if you go on forward with the mentorship, they come ahead, and once the mentorship fruitens, you're always asked if they want to collaborate with you, or if you want to collaborate with them. Collaborate with as many partners as you can. Do a public-private partnerships. This is where it becomes even further important. That is where your impact grows to be bigger. How we grow is together. How we become is what you impact the community that you want to partner with. the mentors that you want to bring on board as volunteers, the people that you want to teach or transform or transition into the citizens that you want them to be, and the impact that you want to create as a foundation, as a person, as a young change maker. It all happens. Trying to do it by yourself is I had tried, and it didn't take me far along. But once I started getting my way in, once I got in these participants, your word of mouth spreads. Your word on your social media spreads that you've been doing something like this. Do it once again. Do it once, do it twice, do it thrice. The word spreads and people come to you. People come to you that they want to work with you. And that's when you know that your work is making an impact. Your work is making an impact because people are moving towards you. And today, as I stand here giving this speech, it's not far away that even I started off at the very same place 2 years back, started out as a very young change maker, completely new in the field of change making, activism, volunteerism. And I started my foundation, Siri. Uh, and I've partnered with networks from all over the world with the help of the global change makers, with the help of Miss Hyderabad, with the help of some friends and participants that I found along the way. And today, as Siri, as a foundation, we are operating in about 15 different countries. We've made an impact in about 33 different communities and working with about 7,000 plus people all across the globe. So I hope you can take as much as my learning, my experiences from this. This has been my journey. It hasn't been easy. Even today, I wouldn't say I've been definitely working on it because public speaking is not my strongest suit, but here I am talking. So yeah. So I'm all open to any questions that you guys have right now.
Thank you very much, Emila, for your speech today. It was amazing, even due to the technical issues, we figured it out. Thank you. We had a lot of useful information. I'm sure everyone enjoyed your speech. And thank you again.
Thank you so much.